You know, I appreciate what the Congresswoman said when she talked about farmers markets. I appreciate what Sid was referring to. I was in the back, Kevin. When she talked about the changes that have already taken shape here. I grew up half my life in Placer County in a small town called Dutch Flat. Doesn't have much of a downtown. There's an old vacant 6-room hotel on Main Street where my father still lives. And I used to come into Sacramento all the time. It was the Nut Tree and downtown Sacramento, the two biggest things in my life. So I appreciate Sid's point. Things have changed dramatically for the better. And the progress you've made last year is pretty extraordinary and telling. And the progress the state's made in the last few years is extraordinary and telling. But it's been a framework, hasn't it, of solvency. And now it's an opportunity to build on that as we move, as Kevin said, to recovery, to a framework of greatness. Again, we've got to enliven the senses. We've got to distill that sense of well-being that defines the proud history and past of California, right? A state of dreamers, of doers, of entrepreneurs, of innovators, always priding itself on being on the leading and cutting edge of new ideas, that pioneering spirit that Horace Greeley spoke so eloquently about. Go west, young man, go west, in the 1850s. That defines this coast of dreams, California. It's defined this region, the state's capital, Sacramento. We've got to restore that. But you do it not just by big things, as Kevin has been arguing for, and he is right. And it certainly was a catalyst for revitalization, the ballpark in San Francisco, but you also do it by small things. Farmers markets matter. Parklets matter. Softening the edges of the urban environment matters. Trees matter. Urban canopy matters. Facades matter. Parking meters, or lack thereof, matter. Outdoor dining matters. Bicycles matter. Pedestrian-friendly plazas matter. Art matters. So as you organize revitalization, it is not dissimilar to the framework of big trends, big projects, revitalization anchors like bringing the Kings rightfully back home, but downtown in a way that can inspire and enliven and reinvigorate areas, as Pac Bell, now AT&T, has done. But also, it's the small stuff. Sweat the small stuff. Don't forget the incredible importance of lighting. Don't forget the incredible importance of sidewalks. In the 50s and 60s, we tried to get rid of them. The whole vernacular was cars, freeways. Just think of San Francisco. You rediscovered something called the Farmers Market down at the Ferry Building, and that was a gift only of Mother Nature. It wasn't a gift of man, it was the gift of Mother Nature, because had we not had the earthquake in 1989, we'd still have a double-decker freeway cutting off one of the most spectacular parts of this state. The old vernacular, just bring the cars down there, big swatches of open space and easy access parking, lots of concrete, ease of transportation, use. That hasn't necessarily served us well. It did in an old industrial contract, but in the world we're living in, no longer connected but hyper-connected, about collaboration, it's about community, about all these new changes. It's going to be quality of life that define success from an economic paradigm. Focus on quality of life. It's not just dealing with panhandlers. It's not just dealing with homeless. Quality of life is so much more. Go to New Orleans, quality of life, or eccentrics out on the sidewalk randomly singing and dancing. Go to places like San Francisco. It is as New York now. It's Sunday streets where we're literally shutting down downtown from cars, driving, businesses crazy, only for those same businesses to discover, wait, themselves and each other, and community coming in and walking around because community is rediscovering its own downtown in a sense of place. People, final point. We can celebrate all the hardscapes, we can celebrate all the brick and mortar investment, but you want to revitalize downtown, you want to revitalize our economy, focus on the most important asset. You know what it is already. It's human capital, people. Why is San Francisco doing so well relative to the rest of the country? I long believed this. It's because we don't just tolerate our diversity, we celebrate it every single day. That we've created conditions in that city where people from all over the world want to live together and advance together and prosper together across every conceivable difference. What makes California still the most vibrant and relevant state in the planet, from my perspective? It's the fact we're the most diverse state in the world's most diverse democracy. And at our best, the world looks to us to see that it's possible to live together and advance together and prosper together across every conceivable and imaginable difference. If you have an economic development plan, a downtown plan that's focused on people, that orients itself around people, you will be successful. That focuses on celebrating all those wonderful and unique differences that each and every one of us have, but also fundamentally reconciles that common humanity that Dr. King and others talk so eloquently about. We're all bound together by a web of mutuality. We're all in this together. Then you will be wildly successful in the era of urbanization, in the era of hyperconnectivity, in an era where quality of life is defined by those subtleties, by small and big projects. So that's my admonition of sorts to you. Regions rising together. Don't like the way the world looks? Again, stand on your head. Go local. Remarkable things are happening. And final quote, because why not end with Michelangelo? When in doubt. He said, the biggest risk, and this is why I love Kevin. He gets this. He lives by this. The biggest risk is not that we aim too high and miss it. The biggest risk is that we aim too low and reach it. Be audacious as it relates to organizing your principles and thoughts. Don't worry about missing the bar you've set. Just don't set it so damn low that it's so easily achieved. If you do that as a framework and a paradigm, people first, and a centricity around the issue of being audacious and authentic and unique, then I think the best in Sacramento is yet to come. Thank you very, very much.